This is my project plan for my global learning project, and this is my first video log. And first I'm going to explain how the person I'm interacting with had a different educational experience than I did. My schooling experience was a suburban schooling experience, and all of the students were predominantly white. They were also middle to high class, and I experienced this in the private school that I went to from K through 4, as well as the public school that I went to from 5th through graduation. There were also a few people on free and reduced lunch, and I thought that this impacted my schooling experience because there weren't many people that were struggling financially. There were so many students that were off of free and reduced lunch programs that they were willing to donate their own money to help provide meals for those on the program for the weekend when they weren't allowed to have food from the schools through a program called Blessings in a Backpack. My school was also very high quality and had up-to-date resources and technology. So we didn't have to worry about not having a computer for a student or having broken computers. They were always fixed very quickly. Our textbooks were up to date and were there for us to use, and they were in good condition. I think that this will compare to the person that I'm interacting with in a very unique way, because the person I'm interacting with went to school in inner city Detroit. And most of my assumptions at this point are just based off of what I heard in the news. And those assumptions, I assume that her school was predominantly African American and has a high demographic of lower class families, just based off of the environment and those around them and those that they focus on in the newscasts. It's also rumored that the Detroit schools have lower resources, but I'm interested to see what a student perspective has on that, and if the improvements that they've said that they're trying to make have made an impact, or if it's not making an impact at all and they're just blowing smoke into the news. I picked this person because I've had a couple of classes with her, so I know that we're on a good personal basis. And I also knew that she went to school in inner city Detroit, and I expected her school to be extremely different from mine. I think that this would give me a good look at what the environment in urban school looks like, just so that I know for one day when I teach in one. I also assume that many of her teachers were African American compared to my school. The majority of them were white, and I think it'll be interesting to see from an African American student's perspective if they had a higher respect level for those of the same race as them, or if it would have been different if her teachers were white, and if she experienced that, or if not, because most of her teachers were of the same race as her. Also, I want to see if the assumptions that they're putting in the news and the stereotypes that they're putting in the news are what is really going on in the schools. This way I get a first-hand perspective because this person has been through the schooling system. My interactions, I wanted them to be in very casual locations. That way we're both comfortable and we can have good conversation. And I wanted them to be early enough so that I have enough time to do the video log and the reflection afterwards and to ask her any questions that I might have missed. So my first one will be on Thursday, February 5th, and I was hoping just like a lunch. And then the next one will be on Wednesday, March 4th, where I'm hoping like coffee at Starbucks or a Sparty's on campus. And then the last one would be Thursday, March 19th, and since she's also an education major, I was hoping just to meet in Erickson. I'm excited to see what this project has to offer and what I can learn about urban schools from my interviewer.